Hi, I'm Kate Nash, and you're watching AMBY.
Hey everyone, it's Alicia, and I would like to welcome you to my interview with Kate Nash.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I have to say welcome to Toronto as well.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
So you were in Detroit the other day, and I noticed that you actually rescued an adorable baby
squirrel called Tony.
Named Tony. So you have to tell me a little bit about that, because I know you found it at home and you made a whole story about it.
Yeah. It was really random, but this kind of does happen to me quite a lot. I feel like with animals, I rescue a lot of animals. Me and my guitarist Linda were just walking around Detroit in the morning looking for some coffee and food and stuff, just like the daily venture on tour of like trying to find food and drink. And then it was really nice. I really loved Detroit. And on the way back from this cool like coffee house, we walked down this really beautiful street with all these old houses, but we were quite near the main road, and this tiny little squirrel literally just ran up to Linda and started trying to like crawl her leg immediately. It was so weird because I've never seen a squirrel.
No.
And I've never seen a baby squirrel actually, like on its own like that. Anyway, the rest of the day was spent trying to figure out what to do to help this little squirrel, because it was like running into the road and like under cars and stuff. And so I went back to the coffee shop and we got a box. And then this man just like helped us because we were like underneath this car, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And we were like, "We're trying to help a squirrel." And he was called Emmanuel, and he just lay down on the floor and was like pushing Tony into the box and helped us, and then just like went on his way. And then we brought Tony back to the venue, and we were all researching like, what do we do with an orphaned baby squirrel? And it said that unless you see its dead mother nearby, and it has signs of being like very ill basically, then you should like release it back into the wild. And all the like wildlife things were closed because it was a Saturday, I think, or a Sunday, and so we just kind of went back to the street with the squirrel. Tony was wrapped in some towels at this point and like really curled up and so cute, and I walked up and down the street looking for a dead mother squirrel, and there was this house with these like swan glass windows, and this woman came out because we released Tony back into the wild, but he like wouldn't go.
He kept coming back.
He kept trying to chase us, and then he ran into the road again, and another man got involved and like had to stop a car, and we got Tony back in the box, and we're like, what are we doing? And then this woman just came out of her garden and was like, there's some squirrels back here. And we're like, does that mean we should go back there? And we kind of like, can we come back there? And she said, yeah, come back here. We went there, and there was like squirrels everywhere and birds and like bunny rabbit statues.
Tony has a new family.
This woman rescues stray cats and like looks after all this wildlife. And so we just happened to bump into the most perfect lady on the street, this woman, Diane. And she took Tony in, and he slept. I already had an update. He slept indoors in the like cat carrier. And he's got some like fruit, and she's been researching how to look after him properly, so he's in good hands.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well done, right? I know, we're all cheering inside. So I remember I saw the story right away, and then it's like, you're like waiting, like, is he going to be all right?
Is Tony okay? I know, yeah. No, he's good. He's really good.
It seems you got pretty attached too.
I know, we fell in love with Tony. I mean, it was the cutest thing ever, a tiny baby squirrel. I've never seen that.
Well, aside from that great news, it's also fantastic news as Yesterday Was Forever is officially out.
Yes.
So congratulations.
Thank you.
Is it a relief now that everybody can finally hear the new music?
I know, yeah, it is. It's like such a release in many senses of the word, because it took so long to do this album. But it's just cool to like be playing these songs on tour and seeing people already knowing the words to the songs and stuff, and already having a relationship with the record. So it's cool to like be doing something to celebrate the release by being on tour.
Well, I was so happy to see that you carried forth that very blunt and heartfelt lyricism that we've seen on your previous records.
Yeah.
So for you, have you always just been a very forward and to the point person?
I try to be.
Yeah.
I think definitely within my music and with friendships and stuff and relationships, I think it's like sometimes when you're not doing it through song, it can be more nerve-wracking, but I think it's really important to just be open, because communication is key to life, I think.
I know that other than people enjoying the record, you really just wanted fans, the biggest takeaway was for them to be comfortable with who they are.
Yeah.
And for me, that's something that I have struggled with for forever. And I kind of now feel like I'm around that turning point where things, with yourself, you're not struggling anymore.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about that, because I know you've also kind of gone through the same thing.
Yeah, I think, anyone in any situation is probably struggling to be comfortable with who they are, because the world is kind of trying to get you to not be, to like buy products to make you feel better and spend more money on material things, and the unhappier you are, the more money you probably spend on those things. So I feel like the world is geared towards that. So it's hard to figure out how to be there for yourself. And also, like, I just had like bad relationships early on, and didn't realize how much that affected me negatively. And I was in long-term like bad relationships, and that like kind of got to my self-esteem. And I also grew up with like the media attacking me personally and stuff. But I just did this whole summer of love basically last year with the Made of Bricks 10-year anniversary tour, and came to terms with my younger self, and just did self-affirmations and worked on like spiritually and like getting in touch with my body, and doing wrestling as part of Glow actually like gave me a whole new physical relationship where I felt really strong and empowered. I really recommend like just getting in touch with yourself and accepting who you are, because everything else is going to come and go, but you're always going to be like here, like whilst you're a conscious being, like this is kind of what you have, so you have to like learn to be okay with it.
It's actually a really beautiful way of looking at it.
Cool.
Well, to celebrate the record release, I created a little game I wanted to play.
Okay.
It's called Yesterday or Forever.
Oh,
so I'm going to say a
it.
word. If you happen to like the word, it's forever. If you don't like it, it was yesterday.
Okay.
All right,
cool.
You ready for it?
This is a good game.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, emojis.
Forever.
Water slides.
Forever.
Black lipstick.
That might be yesterday for me.
Okay. Is that something you've tried?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I like it, but I just like don't see myself wearing it. Yeah. There's only two extreme choices. I'm going to say yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about camping?
Forever. I would like that. I like nature. Maybe I'll find some new Tonys out there.
Ooh, you never know. Chocolate.
Oh, forever.
All right. And then the last one, there's this fashion trend where people do fake freckles. So is that something as well that...
Yesterday. I don't need them. I have loads of freckles. I'm Irish, so I just need to like go to the beach, and then I'll be like...
And then you're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of forevers there, so...
Yeah, I know, a lot of forevers. I'm into some stuff. Yeah, that's cool.
Well, you had mentioned Glow there, and it's such an exciting time because not only do you play Rhonda Richardson on it, but season 2 is coming out.
I know, June 29th. We just had our first tease clip released.
The trailer looks so good.
It was really fun, the trailer, yeah. So I'm really excited about that. It was like, again, this season, I really had the experience of going to set and just thinking, I can't believe this is my job every day. And I was like, I really appreciate this. This is so fun. And just being with all those women, and we have some like new things coming in and just ridiculous things to look out for. So it's going to be a good season.
When you first actually got on set and you were watching people in the ring and how things go, you were like, I believe the quote was, fuck, I can't do this.
Yeah.
So how long did it take you to readjust to everything and realize, hey, you know what? I can put my body on the line and I'm going to make this happen.
Yeah, I mean, it did start to happen quickly, but I think being conscious of it more in season 2 training, because like this time we came... And we were nervous on day 1. It was kind of nerve-wracking again to think, oh my God, what if I can't do it again? Mm-hmm. You know, just the same feelings. And then like first week into training, you're like, no, I do this.
Like
this is something that I can do. And I know how to push myself safely, and I know when to say no, and I know when to stop, and I trust like the trainers. So yeah, it was a really cool experience.
And you've apparently always been kind of freakishly strong, you've said? Is
that
true?
Yeah.
Okay, and how'd you figure that out? Like just lifting random things? And
No, it actually happened at a garden centre. My mum and dad, so me and my mum went to the garden centre. My mum needed this giant bag of compost, and she was going to ask somebody. I was like 15 at the time, and she wanted to ask somebody for help. And I said, oh, Mum, it's all right, I've got it. And I just picked it up and put it on the trolley And then I picked it up and like put it in the car and I brought it into the house. And then my mum and my sister went back because she was like doing this big gardening thing.
Okay.
Like the next week, and they both tried to carry it together and they couldn't.
Oh my God, both of them together?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I hadn't really realized it was a big deal, and then they came back and they were like, what the hell is wrong with you? And then, I always had an advantage when I was fighting my sisters too, I feel like, because of that. But yeah, that's how we found out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here on the site, I not only interview musicians like yourself, but we also interview tons of wrestlers. So when I found out, yes, we're going to catch up with Kate Nash, I was like, this is absolutely perfect.
Cool.
So if you were to have an in-ring persona, aside from everything that's happened with Glow, how do you see yourself in the ring?
I think I would be a dog.
A dog?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's like, I feel like I'm very much like a dog. Like my spirit animal is a dog. And I feel like I could like really switch that up to being like the face and the heel, and sometimes I'd be like the loyal, trusted, like loves like kind of people's best friend, there for like comfort and support and love through anything. And also then like you've got the like bitch side of it, where then I could be like the aggressor, growling, the protector, defender, and like trying to attack when people like enter my territory.
Okay. If we were to keep this persona then, and you were to have any band write some entrance music for you, who would you love to see do that?
Oh, shit. It's got to be something like epic. I feel like, do you know what? Heart.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, Heart.
I like how we've got this all sorted out now.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I did want to bring up is I remember the first time seeing you, and even now we were kind of talking before the camera started rolling. I love your sense of fashion. You've always been so fashionable.
Thank you.
So for you, is this something that you've always been, or do you have any embarrassing fashion fads that you went through when you were growing up?
Definitely. I think that's part of growing up. It's like experimenting with everything and really trying to find, you're just like so desperate to have an identity when you're young, and like being really overstyled. I remember I got obsessed with this purple lipstick when I was like 10. I like bought it at like the church bazaar at Christmas or something, and it was like lavender, and I would put on so much of it.
Like I would overdo the
I just like kept putting it on. I loved the feeling of it, and I felt like I was so grown up. And I would like be at dinner with my family, and I'd go to the toilet to like put my lipstick on, like 20 layers of it. I loved it so much. Oh my God. Those like, it's funny because stuff that was like terrible when I was young is now like already coming back, which that happens as you get older, I suppose. But those combats with like the strips.
Yes. Those are huge now.
Had a pair of those. Those are huge now. They were like disgusting even back in the day. But they're big and back in fashion now. So I feel like no matter how badly you dress, like at some point you will be on trend. So
okay. So don't worry about it.
Just stick it out, yeah.
And has the purple lipstick come back?
I tend to just wear red lipstick now, but it was like I still have this sort of feeling of being in love with the lipstick when I think of it. I think it was the first time I ever had my own lipstick or wore lipstick. I had nowhere to go with it. I just like did it in my room, like purple. I had a purple bedroom. I was like obsessed with purple. Oh. And it was just like, I loved it. I don't know why. Just one of those things as a kid where you're just in love with an object or something.
I can see the nostalgia. It's all coming back to you right now.
Lipstick. It just made me feel so grown up. I was like 10 or something, just putting it on in my room in secret.
Well, just wrap things up, I do want to leave things with the fans. Is there anything you want to say to all of those who will be viewing?
Don't know. That's quite a big ask. That's like I should have thought about something. I don't know what to say. I guess I would just say thank you to anyone who supported my Kickstarter campaign, and supporting independent artists is really important. And like supporting the artists you love is important, because like the music industry is a really difficult business, and it doesn't nurture creativity or longevity. And most artists that I come across are struggling in some way to like just continue. Because it's just really expensive to record and to tour and stuff. So everybody's trying to get by. So I think it's quite important to break down the barrier of like how you're viewed as an artist, and then like the reality. I actually started this new Instagram called @TheRealTouring, because there's so many things that happen on tour that are just, if you go on tour, you just get it and you're just like, oh God, like tour is just like so tour sometimes. And so I just wanted to put some of those moments of like behind the scenes of like, there's just things like there was footage, our sound guy was filming inside his bunk, and the noise inside your bunk on the bus is just like and the whole night. Or like you're just opening your suitcase and like sorting out your dirty laundry in a car park, and there's like a scooter exam going on, and like there's just all these like random tour moments that are basically the majority of your day. Mm-hmm. And then you're like really tired and like trying to make it all happen, and then for like an hour and a half or the 2 hours or whatever that you're like doing the show, everything's like just happening, and I'm suddenly like I feel energized and alive, and like it's all like making sense, and it's all worth it in that moment. And then it's like it's just so funny that you're building up to this one moment of the day, and the rest of the day is, it feels like just like gluing a robot back together.
Well, I want to say thank you for letting us not just be a part of the show tonight, 'cause I'm very excited to see that, but also cool. Just those little behind-the-scene moments during the interview.
Check out the real touring. It's the real touring.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It is my pleasure. And remember, to everybody viewing, you can visit us at aliciatoot.com for all exclusive interviews and features. See ya.